FragWatch is a water nerd. FragWatch here. Today, I'm going to be showing you the simplest way I make water in my process. Make my own bottled water. I love it. It's kind of a hobby I developed over the last 5 years or so, but really tried to kick it up a notch for the during the pandemic. Oh man, 2018 is more than 5 years ago now. Holy moly, that's 7 years ago. I used to have LAN events at my house, 20 to 30 people, and me making coffee was one of the highlights. I would constantly make really good coffee, either drip, French press, 10 minutes out of every hour I was making coffee to give to people. And one of the ways to really up my game with that was to customize the water to different profiles using different mineral contents and pHs and softnesses to achieve that. Anyways, so I ended up getting a really good water filtration system. I'm on well water here. But you can also use distilled water for this process, or our artisanal well water will work good for this. It'll have different chemical properties depending on the company that makes it or how it's sourced. I digress. So my main water, the water I use, goes through first a water softener and then into an active carbon filtration, which is mixed with some magnetism to help polarize and condition the water. It's called a Halo 5. From there, the water I use goes through a 7-stage RO system, which goes through several membrane filters, another activated carbon filter, a pH balancer, and then a remineralization filter, which is very light. It doesn't add many minerals, and it runs out after 3 months. So, and I find that the water comes out of it needs more minerals. I digress. You can do this with distilled water. This is the easiest way to do this is a company named Mayu, and I'll list a couple ways to do this, but this is the easiest way, but it is kind of, expensive. Company called Mayu. They have several products, and that's moisture in this. It's not dirty. I just washed it yesterday. I just emptied it though, and it sat overnight. So let's take the lid off of it. So you have your water, right? And these are borosilicate. This is the bottled water. So this is the end product right here. And I pour these it comes with the brand I buy comes with a neoprene sleeve. I just pour this into a glass, and then I just reuse this. So we're not, and we only wash it probably once a week. It's just water in, water out. So anyways, this is water, this RO water, which is reverse osmosis. That's what I was talking about. That's a little unit under the sink. It's got a pressure tank in it. Pushes it through all those filters. And so I already got good water going into that, and then it's even better going out. And then we improve it further, and I'll show you what this does. So we take this. It's the RO water. You can do this with distilled water as well. You can get distilled water or water out of an artesian well from the store. You just pour it in here. And this is going to act almost as a centrifuge, which is going to reoxygenate the water. So you want to do this in a room that has good air quality. You don't want to do this while you're cooking, or else it's going to taste like barbecue. Although I have tried to use that to flavor the water. Wasn't very good. Anywho, here's the magic. This has an impeller on the bottom. I'm going to try and put it right under the camera. This has a magnet that pulses and spins that thing. And we're going to start that up. Let me center this. So you guys forms a vortex, a little tornado in there. And that will inject the water or the air in the room, the ambient air, into the water. And you want to do this kind of at room temperature. I find that that provides the best results. Some people swear by doing this at higher temperatures, 130, 140 degrees. I don't think that's the best way, because then you have to wait a long time to drink it. And so the benefits of using borosilicate glass, which all these are made of, is it doesn't taint the flavor. It can take hot or cold. It can take rapid temperature changes. Like in these, you can put, and this is the brand Mayu that makes this product and two of these mineral products, although I don't usually use these. I'll use the electrolyte one. Sometimes I'll use this to put in my water afterwards. And during the pandemic, I had a much more complicated process with much more expensive equipment. But that it just took too long and it's hard to source some of those things now. A lot harder to source like raw magnesium threonate or threonate in the quantity that I'd like to have or pay for. I guess I could take supplements and just empty them out, but I've found it doesn't taste as good as just the raw chemical. Anyways, so you let this run for 10 to 15 minutes. I typically let it run for 30 minutes. So the reason, or an analogous thing is, it's like river water. River water splashes up and down and gets the ambient air from all around, which, up in the mountains or out in a spring or whatever, running down the mountain, it's going to get really fresh air, really fresh, awesome, refreshing air. So the air quality in the room is really going to matter with this, because it is getting, all the a lot of air is nitrogen, a lot of air is oxygen, and oxygen is what you're going to mainly taste. Nitrogen does have a flavor, though. The nitrogen comes in many flavors, but yeah, most of that will go to the top of this. Oxygen will go into the water molecules and kind of just sift around. Another thing this does is also, because it's spinning in a circle, it straightens out the water molecule chains. Water, H2O, forms in a chain, but it'll get tangled with other molecular chains. So what this does, it straightens those out, and the water will taste smoother. I know that sounds crazy, but it will feel greasy on your tongue, like really smooth. Not greasy, that's a bad word. How about smooth? It tastes really, really smooth on your tongue. Like it's got a good mouth feel, if you've heard that term. Great mouth feel. It's awesome for coffee. Holy moly, it's awesome for coffee. I've also found that coffee saturates into this water better. Full stop. During the pandemic, I actually had a scientific centrifuge that I used and an oxygen concentrator that injected oxygen directly into the water, and it would ventilate out. It was about 95% pure oxygen. Like I think the oxygen concentrator I had was 3 liters an hour that would inject in. This container of water, by the way, is 1.5 liters. Same with this container. This is 16 ounces. I don't know the conversion between liters and ounces. I'm a water nerd, not a silly imperial measurement nerd. So after this goes, or actually when it starts, or a minute in, I will add minerals. So this contains, let's see if that picks up. If you want to pause and zoom in on that, you can. That blurry text, you'd want to pause and zoom in on. Give me a break, FragWatch. I'll read this aloud. So it has 250 milligrams of magnesium. And I think different magnesium comes in different flavors, right? There's magnesium sulfate, there's magnesium chloride, there's magnesium threonate, there's magnesium carbonate. And they all taste different, and they all break down and interact with water different. I personally think magnesium threonate tastes the best and has the best health properties for people. That's my personal opinion. I'm not a doctor. Not claiming to be. So don't take that. That's not medical advice. Legal disclaimer. Okay. This also has chloride, 650 milligrams. Chloride is also an electrolyte. All these things are elements that could be considered electrolytes or really valuable trace minerals that your body needs. Most of them for energy production or conversion. Yeah, electrolytes. Look it up if you don't know what to do. This has 5 milligrams of sodium, so pretty low amount of sodium. Your body needs a lot more than that per day. I actually almost died. This is a true story. I almost died of hyponatremia, which is having too little sodium in your body. I had to go to the hospital for 4 days. I was close to death. Yeah. So, and that was from just, I was trying to lose weight and fast. Not enough sodium, almost died. Anyways, I digress. Potassium, 3 milligrams. Your body needs a lot more than that. But potassium also is a big flavor additive. Cool stuff. This has sulfate, 40 milligrams. Another flavor. It adds almost like a bitter flavor. You definitely, if you're adding raw sulfate or sulfites, you want to drink that water quickly because it will accelerate any bacterial growth. So you'd want to have a completely clean, freshly cleaned container and drink it that day, because sulfates and sulfites will, in larger quantities than this, much larger quantities than this, will, and it will affect the mouthfeel more than any other of these minerals, I feel. Potassium maybe is a close second, but yeah. There's lithium, 1.5 milligrams, and then boron, 1 milligram in this trace minerals, trace mineral drops stuff. I'll add 1 drop of this. Blood 2. Okay. These over here, these also come from Mayu. And I buy these with my own money. This isn't a sponsored video or any of that shit. I don't do that. Buy all my own stuff. I'm a big boy. Got my own money. Electrolytes. This is a simpler, this is just magnesium, zinc, and chloride. This has zinc in it, so it's more of an electrolyte mixture. And these are in higher quantities. Like this has 370 milligrams of chloride, and it has 12% of magnesium, and I think this is like 5% magnesium of your magnesium value. Oh, this is 60%. Wow, this one has much more magnesium. Didn't know that. I learned something today. All right. And magnesium is super important for your health. Like one of the most underrated supplements out there. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you it's helped me sleep and my muscles not strain when I work out, and it's just overall great. Really recommend it for, it's awesome. So once this is done, let me get the other essential minerals out, because these are easy to find. This is very expensive, this trace mineral stuff. I find it to be overpriced. These aren't cheap as well. These aren't cheap either, but so this is their Mayu brand's essential minerals blend, and it doesn't even list what's in it. Maybe on the box. Jesus. This has magnesium, chloride, sodium, so the bare minimum. And it costs twice, like 2 or 3 times as much as the electrolyte. Just get the electrolyte one if you're going to do this. Okay, so after I'm done with this, and we do this for 10 to 15 minutes. I used to do this with a centrifuge again, which was $5,000 for a 2.5 liter centrifuge. And I had flasks, like borosilicate flasks and science equipment, and it was a thing. Okay, we're done with that for now. Maybe later, who knows? So this is the borosilicate bottled water in a sleeve. I just pour this into my faithful old, Stanley clone. I've been using those since 2015, so I'm kind of a pioneer of the vacuum sealed steel big boy cups. They're awesome. Recommend them highly. And I have an ice maker, a standalone ice maker from Frigidaire. If you're going to say try the Opal 2, I did. I hated it. I'm not a big fan of nugget ice or soft nugget ice. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Some people love that stuff. Anyways, I like hard ice, hard clear ice. So my Frigidaire makes that really well. And I put that in there. Use a silicone straw. Let me open this up. I put ice in last night. Still going strong. So once that's done, that fills almost 3 of these. Put them in the fridge, and the family drinks them. That's it. That's my water making process. We wash these once every week. We wash these a little bit more often, probably once every 3 days. And there's different, you can buy, there's a ton of different brands you can buy that sell these. These, if you see these come up on Amazon, buy them immediately. They sell out within hours. It's $28 for a 6-pack of these with the sleeves. Crazy deal, man. Other companies, you get like one of these for $18. And these are really high quality. Highly recommend. Borosilicate, again, it can take high temperature reactions. It can store really cold water with like 35 degrees and really hot water. I mean, almost close to boiling. It can go from cold. You can have cold and then add hot. The temperature variation, it can withstand that. It doesn't taint the flavor. It doesn't add any flavor. It's pretty neutral towards the substance. Yeah. Shout out to Log Pile for the inspiration to do this video, for noting my water nerdness. It is a passion of mine, and something that I think adds to my quality of life. I enjoy my water. I mean, you see me when I drink it every time. I'm like, it just tastes, it feels good on the mouth. I had a couple charity events called What Are Your Thoughts, where I would import different municipalities' water from around the world, which is a process. Let me tell you, that was much more complicated the first time than I thought it was going to be. And different municipalities where I live, and different well water places from places I've visited and own, and my own home. And I would have people blind taste test them and rate them, and then we would compare the answers. There was a municipality in Kentucky that won the first round. Starts with a K. I'll have to think. When I asked the Nashville Chamber of Commerce, who do you think has the best water municipality, that was their answer is, yeah. So I sent out and paid for it, and that was the whole thing. Anyways, yeah. That was that was pre this year. There's been a lot going on. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, I would love to answer. Love to answer. Oh, FragWatch is a water nerd. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. I'll take a delicious drink. Non-auto-tuned. Oh my God. Let's get a close up of that. Oh my God. Cheers.